When last we left off, our adventurers were exploring a hidden crypt seemingly dedicated to the Raven Queen, but had been befouled by some Ossibus priests. After a fight ensuing, fighting with the constantly resurrecting priests, eventually our party manages to slay them all. And, after a brief rest, finds a gate, allowing the Raven Queen herself to come through and conversate in her own strange way, as well as deliver them their aid, apparently the reincarnated spirit of Nyx. And after inviting them into the dread plane itself, Bosch and Veritas have seemingly come out on a hill just outside of northern Waterdeep, where they started not too long ago. Bosch and Veritas, you are alone on this hill.
Gosh. Oh no.
I'm right here.
Oh no, it's happening again. No.
Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe they just landed somewhere else.
Maybe. Eve! Eve, Gus... Looking around and clearly not seeing them in view. I don't even have enough power to contact them. Do we do?
Let me try,
Mentally, I will try to project to Tia.
hey, it's just me and Veritas somewhere outside the city. Where can we find you?
Can I get a wisdom saving throw?
God. Wisdom saving throw. Why is...
9.
Yeah.
Alright. You are going to take 2 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
Oh, but before you take that damage, I want everyone to mark down that they've had a long rest. Restore everything to full.
Okay.
Oh. Well, shit, that changes things.
It might
Everything.
change some things. I forgot to mention that. But yes, you do have all your things. So before you take 2 damage, restore yourself to full. Then take the 2.
Okay.
A generous DM.
Sure.
I have to ask though. It doesn't. Are we recharging our equipment?
Recharge your equipment to full as well.
Shit.
Okay.
That's actually scary. The way you said that.
No, don't roll for it. It is at full.
That's
Okay.
even worse.
That's very scary.
Oh, no.
That's the pre-boss room. Why is there a save point? Why is there so much ammo? Oh god.
Ever heard of the boss fountain?
God.
Let's see, is this music better?
Wait, does Misty Step Rock recharge? That's a Gauss thing that he has to do, right?
That is specifically a Gauss thing he has to do, so no.
Okay.
This can work,
Got it.
I think. Or maybe for later. We'll stick with nervous. We'll go to anxious later. Right now it's just nervous.
Okay.
Keep the 12.
You can keep both of them, Gazrakul.
Oh.
pause on impending doom.
I was about to say, I don't know if that's if I'm happy or frightened.
Okay, it kind of hurt. Tried to talk to Tia. Then though, maybe maybe be careful about trying to message people who were far away. I think there's probably only one way of finding out what's going on. See what's going on in the city.
Do you start heading into the city?
Wait. Let me just try.
What's up?
I think I can do it.
Okay, be careful.
Sending to Eve.
Roll a d20.
Okay. 7.
All right. What is your message?
Eve, where are you? We are in the outskirts of Waterdeep.
Roll me another d20.
18.
Okay.
That's the message that's being sent.
Okay. You do not get a response. She does not receive it, Cassandra.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I didn't get a response.
Okay, I think we're gonna be on our own for a little while. If we're lucky, or people in the city will be mostly normal, and we can probably count on some people to help us.
Be on guard. I don't like this.
I know it's weird. Being in that other water deep, would have been able to tell how bad it was already. So I don't think we're back there yet.
I hope not.
Right, well, just stay with me, Betty. We'll figure out what's going on.
Okay.
So, you make your way down towards the city, eventually reaching the familiar-looking North Gate. You see that there are some guards posted. They glance your way, but otherwise don't seem to give you much mind. You wander in, and it seems a lot less busy than normal, but it does look like a storm's brewing, and so perhaps people are taking cover.
Veritas is getting paranoid. I think at this point he would cast See Invisibility.
You cast See Invisibility.
Yes.
Alright. You cast See Invisibility. You do not see anything immediate. Not invisible, nor on the ethereal plane. But it is up. Now ask, where are you going?
I would think we would go to the spot that we normally reside around, which is the Castle Ward. That's at least what Veritas would suggest.
Well,
We could just wander around, but
It's a big city.
yeah.
it is a big city. So we can start there. If we do have contacts, could go and try to talk to Jarlaxle, but that's on the other side of the city. Could see about. Oh, right. Where we were, both of Eve's parents were missing, if I remember right. Did we try Amaranth? I don't.
I
You
don't
did not
think we reached that point.
No, you never made contact with Amaranth after Torben's disappearance.
Mm-mm.
It's an idea, but she's not my first choice. Trying to talk to Silverhand is probably going to be running into a wall.
Yeah. Around where we're staying. If anything's weird.
Yeah.
Now, I believe you were staying in the Yawning Portal, like you had rented a room, but that's where you had the magnificent mansion,
Mentioned, yeah.
right? Which is
We
in
won't
the
be able
castle.
to. And I mean, everybody goes to the Yawning Portal, so you might find interesting people there.
All right. You begin walking down the high road. As you walk down, the vibes are definitely off. In all your time here in Waterdeep, you've never seen it this empty, and the people that you do see seem very dour. But you walk along. Eventually you come to the market, where it comes with the biggest surprise, where there are people here, but not even close to the bustling that it was, well, earlier today. And I would like you both to roll perception checks for me.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. The both of you see a purple-scaled, three-headed, reptilian, familiar individual, seemingly at a stall. The clothes they are wearing, however, is not familiar, as it seems to be that of just common linens. They carry a sack of radishes that they seem to be trying to hawk off.
That's so weird. See him, right?
Yeah, I do. And I don't see
Like-
anything weird with them either.
With see invisibility, no.
And people around aren't reacting to three-headed purple dude.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check. You start looking at some of the people a bit more closely, because, like, they should be at least, like, given, like, a double take. But, like, the few people you see just look like they're dead inside.
Do you think? I don't know why he'd be here and selling radishes. It feels like we went where we were trying to go. Everything's all dark and nobody's happy. This is very much Virgil's vibe.
Yeah.
Just don't know what we're supposed to do here. And I'd be a lot happier if the others were with us. Where would they? Where would they go if something went wrong?
They would probably try to find a safe place. Probably go into the mansion and then try and contact us when they could.
Okay, but we can't just sit around waiting for him.
No.
I mean, we could try to go to the same places we've been going to and pick in, see if somebody's seen them.
Guys, can you roll me a d20 for me?
Can do.
You see some weirdos looking at you. An orc and an elf, by the looks of it. Strangely garbed.
What do you want? Radishes? Potatoes? Tomatoes? What are you looking for?
Not really in the market for fruit vegetables right now.
Of course
Just-
not.
You look like someone we know. Can I
You're-
ask your name?
Well, we just have one of those faces.
Just one of them, huh? About the other two.
They look at each other.
We are curious. Is it normal to just walk up to people, stare at them, and then ask their names?
I mean, if you look like someone you know, yeah.
Let me guess. And then goes from left to right. Kazi. Rai, Cooley.
We would be more than happy to share our names if you'll buy some vegetables.
I mean, sure, we can use a stack. Which one of these can you pretty much just eat without cooking it? Radish, I guess? Maybe a carrot.
Indeed, we have many raw vegetables available. Please take your pick. If you can name it, we have probably grown it.
I'll take
mean-
this radish.
I'm good with a carrot, to be honest.
That'll be 2 silver a vegetable.
Must be some pretty good vegetables.
Yep.
You'll have to
2
find
silver.
out for yourself.
You know what? People around here need to be geared up a little bit. There's 2 silver for a carrot.
Many thanks. Now, whatever the elf said, we could not understand. We are humbly before you, Gazraku.
I mean, he was pretty close.
You don't have a brother
Whatever.
that looks just like you. The 3 heads, purple.
No. We are the only 3 born of our mother's clutch.
Huh. And let me guess, you come from a place that has a lot of sand and doesn't tell people it's not that interesting.
No. What? We were born here in...
I would like
You
the
were?
3 of you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oof.
Interesting. Bosch, you are going to take 4 more psychic damage. And that's going to be 1. Gaz, something about what they said about the sand sounds familiar.
Like this carrot is giving me a migraine.
I'm pretty sure. You're Ghazi. You're Cooley. And you're Raw. No, wait. You're Ghazi. You're Raw. And you're Cooley.
Well, anyway, thank you for your patronage. I'm sure there's a million other people in that you could be bothering.
You're sure that you're not gonna go sneak off and try to steal somebody's blood? Or be conspire against rival criminals?
What happened to the Zentarum? And Manshun?
If you do not vacate this premises, we will be forced to call the guards. We do not have to stand here and be harassed by strangers.
1 more set of charisma saves for the mention of Manchun. That's 2. Guys, the name Manchun sounds familiar. It sounds important. To you, at least.
Though you strangers are very curious and business has been slow. Tell us more about this Shun man.
Big evil guy. Clone of himself. He's taken over Zentarum. Split in half. Your side of the Zentarum got wiped out. out for revenge. At least that's the Kazi I knew. Not vegetable salesman Kazi.
And oh, we know someone with ambition. You're telling us you should be in charge of the whole thing. At least, the one who takes out Manchun.
We need to find the others that are with us. Tia. Eve.
That's a problem.
And
Oh.
sister. I love you.
Perhaps we should direct you to the guards if you have a missing persons case to report. They're very efficient herein. The guard is very good.
Can I get an insight check?
Sure.
And also, just my understanding, did Gazrakul just skip over name of the place we are in?
Sure did sound like that.
Did it seem odd that this person that Veritas recognizes as Gazrakul ask us to go to the guard?
I mean, yes. It does seem odd that the criminal you know as Gazrakul would direct you to the city guard.
Kazi, you don't like officers or any enforcements of the law.
Perish the thought. We'll have you know that the Farmers Association has a very close working relationship with the guards of...
Waterdeep?
I need a d20 from you, Nick.
$13.
With that roll, I'll need another round. I'll need charisma saves from Bosch and Veritas specifically.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
You can't keep me down.
Bosch, you do pass this time, so no damage.
Okay.
But the both of you get this kind of tingling sensation on the back of your neck. Like someone's watching you.
Gosh, something's really wrong here.
That's weird. And,
Kazi's asking for the police.
I know, right? It,
He says he's
Feel like
part
it-
of Farmers Guild.
I think it's
We're right here, thank you.
He doesn't want to steal blood.
Alright, what's all this then? You see, a guard has approached. You two causing a ruckus?
Not more than usual.
we were just kind of talking.
These men bothering you?
Afternoon, officer. They seem to be in some state of mental distress. They purchased produce, but then they've been having conversations back and forth in front of the stall. Something about blood and missing persons.
Distressed, blood, and missing persons, eh? Well, that sounds like it's some guard duty. Why don't the two of you come with me down to the precinct?
Don't you ever have conversations while in the middle of a stand? Just chatting with your buddy?
Now, I need you to calm down, sir. Just come with me to the precinct, we'll get everything settled.
Bosh.
Kind of like looks over to you.
I think we're good. Don't really need any help right now from you.
Well, if you got a missing persons, we should hear about it. And we can help you. Just come on down. I'd like the two of you to roll perception checks.
This guy is unnaturally helpful, or perhaps not helpful at all.
Bosch, there are two more guards that are walking up behind you.
Think maybe we should just keep on moving. Thanks for your help.
Veritas, roll me in acrobatics or athletics.
Okay. Athletics. That's an 8.
All right, with his 9, he grabs your arm. Boys, you're coming down to the station.
But if we don't want to,
Well, ain't that just too bad? And he's gonna pull out handcuffs and start to try to arrest you, Veritas.
I could turn into
He-
handcuffs.
As he puts the handcuffs on, Veritas will transform into a key.
What the hell?
Pick me up, Bosch! Like mentally, like hit.
Quick,
Just
grab
gonna
him,
try to
boys!
swoop in and pick him up.
The cop, all three cops are gonna try and grab you, Bosch. Well, two of them are gonna try and grab you. So I'll need 2 athletics and acrobatics checks, acrobatics checks from you. I'm assuming athletics.
Let's do that.
Yeah. They like hop onto your shoulders and you just flex them off. Grab the key and you are free to go.
And out of there.
thanks, Gosra. Cool. See you later.
They're going that way.
The cops will give chase. I'll just ask for. Give me a Constitution saving throw, Bosch. All right. Once you're out of the market, you're in a straight line and you just dead on sprint. You are far faster than these guys, and it looks like after a little while they just get tired and just let you go.
Okay, that was weird.
I knew.
Pretty sure you shouldn't say the name of this place.
Something's really wrong. You saw? It's like the name doesn't exist. He tried to say it.
Yeah, he did. And yeah, those guys were gonna try to cart us off. Nothing.
Well, we know where Ghazi probably is. Something's affecting him.
I don't think he's gonna help us though. It was weird. Well, I mean, when we said words, names that he might remember, but then he made a weird face.
He always makes weird faces, but yeah, that one's really weird.
Well, okay, so the others maybe won't go to places we know if they're all like him.
If Gaz was a vegetable salesman, Where would even Tia be?
I mean, did people turn into their opposites?
Oh.
I don't know that a vegetable farmer is the opposite of a wizard criminal, but
Maybe it is.
sometimes it's hard to tell if Gaz Rakul has a sense of humor, but this one definitely didn't.
Gazi's really sarcastic. I didn't sense
Yeah,
that.
I guess that counts. Huh. I mean, I hope he's not stuck like that. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Where do we meet him?
You saw him
Marketplace?
in the market.
In the market.
I mean, we could see if Amaranth is where we met her, and maybe Eve would be somewhere around there, or well, Eve would be more likely to be in the bookshop, which
But if it's
has
opposite
an awesome,
Eve,
catchy name, but I don't remember it. If it's opposite Eve, what's the opposite of reading?
fisticuffs, brawling, blood.
Oh,
I don't know.
we kind of know where the fighting pits are, but I don't know that it's a good idea to go see the Xanathar. Or we could try. I guess it's kind of hard to get to, too.
I would like Bosch to roll me a survival check with disadvantage.
Okay.
You start having this conversation about where you should go next, and you realize you have no idea where you are right now.
Okay, there's the flaw in the plan. I don't know where we are or how to get anywhere. Be like if we choose a straight line, we'll eventually run into like the city wall or the ocean.
Meeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Veritas points in a random direction.
Give me a d4. Okay.
Let's
start.
try that way.
You start walking.
Hmm.
Start walking a little ways. You immediately begin to notice that the streets aren't as straight as you remember. A couple of them twist and turn in directions you weren't expecting, but you follow the road that you picked. And I would like Veritas to roll me a survival check.
The strongest survival check.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. This goes on for hours. Eventually, and I'd like you... Both of you make nature checks as well.
Okay.
Alright.
Strong stats for both of us, I think.
Actually, I'm not too bad with nature,
Nice.
as you can see.
I fucking loved it. It's just like, oh man, I'm not good at nature. Rolls a natural 20. I'm okay at nature. Rolls a natural 1.
Do those just cancel each other out? Or?
That was amazing. Right. Well, Veritas, you sort of revel in the idea that you know stuff about nature that you don't notice it. But Bosch, you notice that despite the fact that you've been walking for hours, and despite the fact that you know what time it should be, the lighting hasn't changed. It's still kind of like this sort of before the storm dusk kind of lighting situation. And that hasn't changed. But eventually, you arrive at one of the gates of the city. It ain't the North Gate, though. It's a gate you haven't been to yet.
Oh.
Huh.
The River Gate?
Do you ask someone?
Okay, there are only so many gates in the city. Been through the North Gate. Been through...
You mean through the southern part, right?
No, you came in through... well, technically, the first time you entered in the middle of the city, because you got dropped in.
Oh shit, that's right.
You only know the North Gate.
Okay. This is not the North Gate.
You do know that, at least.
Okay, which is more important? Do we want to know where we are, or how to get to where we want to go?
I think both. I like both.
Looks around.
You look around. There are some guards stationed here. This particular gate, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of traffic.
I'll try to ask, and if they start acting weird, we can run away again.
Veritas slowly walks up.
Alright, you slowly walk up. I would like an insight check.
Alright.
That is the same guard that you were talking to in the market.
All the way in the market.
Correct. Like, identical.
Does his buddy look identical?
You know, he does. They all just have that face, you know?
Veritas casually kind of does the kind of like a casual 180.
Give me a stealth check. You do your 180.
Mentally to Bosch.
It's even worse. They're all the same guard.
Oh, okay, let's get out of here then.
Bosch, you look to Veritas, who has turned his back on the guards that are approaching him right now.
Okay, maybe not quiet skedaddle. Let's go. You can do a run.
Huffing it.
Alright, since you're both running, I'll need constitution saving throws from the both of you.
Baby.
Ooh, no.
Ooh. They rolled one less than you, Bosch. You are huffing it through the streets, and you escape. But unfortunately, Bosch, you suffer a point of exhaustion.
Oh no.
Too much running away from the cops today, unfortunately. There's no point in asking for survival. You are super hopelessly lost. So I'm going to say just a flat luck check from one of you.
You feeling lucky?
No.
Okay, I'll roll it.
You both rolled the same number on the d20 for your con saves.
Yeah.
An 8. Okay. Give me a perception check from the both of you. Bosh, you have disadvantage.
Ah,
Okay.
Oh.
Luckily, 15 was about the DC I was thinking, because luckily your luck check wasn't too far away from my luck check. You begin looking around in your new surroundings, and you realize it kind of looks familiar. And you look, and you can see one of the towers for the academy. Seems to be a couple blocks over, but you do see it.
There's
Did you
that.
see? Yeah. Okay, let's check it out.
Maybe Amaranth or maybe Eve. I don't know. There's
Maybe both of them.
So many guards.
I mean, we should watch out for guards. They have guards. Last time, I can't remember. I felt like an academy would have guards.
I don't know.
You can roll history if you
Okay.
want to.
Sure.
If you like to attempt to remember. Bosh, you don't know if they were guards or not. Could go either way in your mind. But you are heading
Okay.
towards the academy.
Yep.
Alright. You begin walking in that direction. And after carefully navigating a few blocks, you do reach the gates of the academy, and you breathe a sigh of relief as you see no guards.
Oh,
You don't
Cool.
see any guards.
we see any people?
You do see some people. There seem to be a few people wandering around the academy grounds, all with that kind of dead look. You know, they look like students.
So normal as can be.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Do you think we should try to look like everybody else? Just look really depressed or haven't slept in a lot.
Oh, I am so sad.
Already convinced me. Ugh.
You attempt
Veritas.
to do you attempt to zombie your way into the academy?
Yeah.
Give me performance checks.
This is the best idea.
God
right here.
damn it.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so sad. Ah.
Woof.
Oh, what was me?
You begin to walk into the academy grounds, declaring yourself as the most exhausted person there, and they're all staring at you and just watching as you make your way through the grounds. Do you go anywhere in particular?
The tower.
I assume to trying to find Amaranth's office.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm so sad and depressed. Ah.
They all watch you. They don't seem to care. And you're able to make your way to the familiar office.
I think they bought it.
I would like the two of you to roll a perception check as you wander down these halls. Even with the disadvantage, Bosch, as you pass by one of the classrooms, you see a familiar fluff of ginger hair in one of them.
Hold up a sec.
Huh? What?
Check it out. The classroom.
It's Eve. But is that Eve? Or is that reverse Eve?
How does Eve look, or whoever this person is?
Well, she's currently in a study hall. As for anything else, I can let her decide that.
Well, she's wearing the same robes as all of the other students. Her hair looks more disheveled than usual. You've always seen her with like dark circles under her eyes, but they are deeper and darker than you've ever seen them. And she is just intently focusing on writing something in a book on her desk.
Gosh. I think we need to check.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's definitely her. It's not. I thought they looked tired before, but wow.
Okay.
So what do we do? Do we want to hit her with the truth? Try and be sneaky about it.
I mean, the truth got the guards coming at us, but it seemed like Ghazi was starting to remember stuff. We want to get them out of this, whatever it's affecting them.
Okay. So tell the truth, but don't tell the truth.
Yeah.
Should we yell names at her and see what happens? Oh, let's not yell. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But try and mention a bunch of names.
Veritas takes a deep breath.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this.
You open the door to the classroom, and some of the students take notice but don't seem to really care. You look over and you see the teacher is fast asleep at his desk.
Pretty standard.
Veritas walks by and kind of does like the turn and says kind of like this casual, "Oh, are you perhaps Eve?"
Eve didn't even look up as you guys walked in, but as you say that name, She kind of does the thing where she turns her head up to look at you, but her eyes are still looking down at the book for a few seconds before she looks up. It looks around, looks over at the teacher, looks back at you. Who are you? What are you? You're not. Are you new, teacher? I'm sorry, I'm Eve, yes.
Hello there. I've heard about you through Amaranth. Does that name ring a bell?
Max does it.
I mean, it's your mom's name, so.
Okay. Okay, just making sure that was still the name. Her expression gets weird at this. It gets, if anything, more guarded. That's... I've been doing my best, okay? I don't know what I've done. I'm doing my best. My grades are improving. What is it that did she send you as tutors or something? What is...
No, actually. It kind of looks over to Bosch. We were looking for you because we heard quite the good things. Isn't that right, Bosch?
Oh, that's about right. We don't work for your mom. We know her.
Yeah. Even perused a some of the fine literature from kind of takes a moment. Torbin's Torbs and Tales, I believe.
Her expression has been doing some interesting things throughout all of this. There's surprise at first, a little bit of hope, and then just progressively more disbelief until you mentioned Torbind, and just her whole face just shudders. And she looks down and like glances left and right around the classroom and is like, listen, I don't know what you're doing in my classroom, but I have things to do. I have studying to do. I have... What do you want?
I mean, it might sound weird, but we're trying to help.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what this is? Is this an intervention? Is that...
No.
Kind of snaps the book shut in front of her, glances over at the teacher. Still sleeping?
Yeah, still sleeping.
Looks back. Are there any, like... Is the whole classroom full to capacity, or are there any, like, seats in the back or tables that are kind of on their own away from people?
I'd say it's about half capacity.
Eve will pick up her book, stand up, and go back to the corner and sit at a desk in the corner.
I would like Eve to roll a d20. That tingling sensation, Veritas and Bosch, gets even more prominent as when Eve sort of goes and sits down, putting her book down, the noise. Excuse me, who are the two of you, and what are you doing in my classroom?
Yeah. How wide is this classroom?
It's a classroom.
Okay, good. Calm emotions.
Calm emotions. Eve, go ahead and make the roll for that. Which I believe it's a charisma save, yes?
Of 17.
Okay.
Just a moment. Excuse me.
I heard it, but I don't see it.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Are you on Wallfly?
Oh, that. Roll it normally. For this one.
That shouldn't be with advantage.
It would be a 27, though.
But it is the first roll. This calming wave comes over you, Eve, but fuck that. The teacher also does not seem to be calmed by
Affected.
this. A performer of magics, huh? I don't know what you're doing here in this classroom, but if you don't leave here soon, I will have to call the guards.
Again with the guards.
Criminals,
And
huh?
turning over in like, I know that we weren't trying to go loud, Bosh,
Do
but
it.
Oh boy.
Veritas, with this more so commanding presence, yells over to Eve. Eve! I know this might sound crazy, but we need your help. The world's ending, still Havity's destroying it. It might not make sense, but we need you.
With still Havity, the three of you roll me charisma saves. And still normal for you, Eve. I appreciate the extra credit, but it will not be necessary here, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, Bosh. Oh, it's only 1 point of second damage.
Okay.
But that is 3.
Free what?
Well, that's 3 strikes.
We get to go home, right?
Sure. Eve, that name strikes you very profoundly for a moment. But you don't have time to process it as the teacher suddenly screams, "I told you to leave!" And fog and smoke begin to pour out of his mouth, obfuscating the entire room. you can't even see in front of your face anymore. And Bosh, Veritas, you emerge on top of a hill overlooking Waterdeep.
Fuck.
Oh no.
First, this is kind of bullshit. Do we get to start over? I mean, what the hell?
What happened?
I mean, that guy got mad, and we turned into a cloud of fog, and back here.
Yeah. Checks himself. Does Veritas feel any different?
No, not really. You know, you don't feel rested this time.
That's a problem.
Uh-huh.
What's going on?
Don't get it. But, I think this means we have to walk past the guards if we want to get back in the city.
Yeah.
I mean, on the bright side, we know where we are now. I guess we kind of knew where the academy was.
Yeah, we were pretty lost there for a while.
Yeah. Whew.
What do we do about the rest of them? They don't know. They don't know us, and
I don't know. I mean, we tried. Well, I guess both times we kind of tried sideways approach, mentioning stuff we knew that would get their attention. They just want us to leave them alone.
yeah.
I mean, there's the real blatant approach. It's not that big. We could try to stuff her in a bag and run away. It seems kind of rude.
Yeah, it does. She'll probably fight back.
Well, I mean, if Gazrakul is a farmer here, maybe Eve doesn't have any magic stuff going on. There's still Chelavi and Tia.
Know where they are.
I don't know.
Maybe one of them's in tower, or in the church. All the others, relics and symbols, gods.
Maybe.
Let's try and get inside first.
Yeah. One step at a time.
So, where are you heading?
Back to the north gate?
All right. You begin to approach the north gate. You see that there are guards posted there. They haven't noticed you yet. Do you keep going?
Veritas will change into a key.
All right. Bosh?
Apparently Bosch is taking the lead on this one, yeah. I'm going to nonchalantly approach the gate and try to just walk through.
All right. This time, as you walk through the gates, you get some looks. Like they're just kind of staring at you as you walk in. But otherwise, do nothing. You make it past the gates, and where do you head after that?
Okay, so we agreed it's a bad idea to try again, or
I don't
Good.
know.
yeah, it's hard to tell.
It would be worth seeing if Gaz remembers our interaction.
Yeah, we could give that a try. I was also kind of thinking if she's here, Ollie might have something to say.
That's right.
It'd be kind of weird seeing her all depressed and stuff.
It would be. Uh, let's give it a try.
Okay.
So was that the market or Holly?
So where is okay? That's the market is further south.
Yeah.
The
Market's,
temple complex is kind of
it's
together?
somewhere in here.
So it's closer.
Kind of. Little.
A little. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
some
somewhere.
diagonal going.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. Problem is, you're not 100% sure. Market's easy to find.
Right.
You just go south on the high road and you're there. But finding a specific temple, especially if you're trying to do it without asking anyone's help, in a city that is maze-like and you are not at all familiar with yet.
I mean, what's the harm in asking for directions? It's probably not from a guard.
By one of the lifeless looking people.
Yeah, I mean, the worst they can tell us is no. I think.
So you're gonna ask for directions?
I'm going to give it a shot.
Alright. You see an elderly looking woman kind of making her way down the street, that same dead look in her eyes.
Hey, sorry to bother you. Just kind of looking for the Temple of Saloon. Do you know which way to go?
She stops. She looks at you. Just stares for a long moment. Why would you need to go there?
There's somebody we know. It's looking to try to find this person.
There's no one you know there. And she keeps walking.
That was very ominous.
It kind of was. Okay, I guess we can just kind of try to find where it is.
I'll help with that. And goes back to goes back to elven form.
So you're gonna try and find it, huh?
Yep.
To try.
All right. Whoever's leading, give me survival.
Oh. Okay.
Can I help Bosch so it's not
You can help him,
disadvantage?
so it's not disadvantage. Yes.
Eh.
A 13. It takes you a while, but you do find it. You find the Temple of Saloon, or what's left of it anyway. The temple has seen better days, not even close to the opulence you saw it before. The doors look like they're about to fall off, some of the glass has been shattered, and it definitely could use a good sweeping. But it's there.
Guess. We should enter.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be a sanctuary for whoever, I thought. Hello?
Hello.
You walk in, calling out. You don't see anyone immediately. Give me performance checks, the both of you.
Performance.
Okay. You hear a bit of rummaging in the back, and you hear a feminine, unfamiliar voice call out, "Is someone there?"
Yeah, we said hello.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. And coming out from behind, like the main altar, a bit disheveled. Vestments are a bit tattered, but they seem to try to make do with what they got. You see what looks to be a tabaxi. A sort of fur is a bit of a lightish bluish tinge. They sort of have almost like kind of like silvery eyes, silvery blue eyes. But probably the most notable thing is that they have two tails.
Hello. We were trying to find someone here.
Well, you have found someone.
We were looking for a person named Holly.
Holly? I'm afraid that I don't know anyone by that name.
Where are my manners? I'm Veritas.
Oh, Veritas. Nice to meet you. And you are?
I'm Bosch.
Bosch. Well, pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the Temple of Saloon, located here in Pleasant. How can I help you?
Well, like Veritas said, we were kind of looking for an acquaintance who we thought should be here, but I guess not. A
Well,
little confused. I'd been here for a while.
I've been here as long as I can remember.
And, you are?
Oh, right. My manners. My name is Luna.
Luna. That's a nice name.
Why, thank you. Yeah.
not to too fine a point on it, but things seem weird in the city. Does it seem not normal?
Not normal. What do you mean?
Yeah. Kinda empty and dreary.
Yeah. A lot of people, or there's people we recognize, but they don't have any recollection of us.
Are you sure you're in the right place? What city are you trying to be in? Because dreary and lonely, that sounds like the same old to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're trying to be in.
Bosch will attempt to just leave that blank space and see if she notices.
To be in what? I didn't hear you.
Up here.
That's the thing. We don't hear what you're saying.
You don't hear.
Yartosh shakes his head.
Interesting. I need the two of you to make charisma saving throws again.
Cycle continues.
But you got her to make one.
Natural one.
That's gonna be 3 psychic damage to you, Veritas. You can reduce it with your resistance.
Yay! That's 2, 1,
1.
1.
That's interesting.
I also kind of noticed, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but all the guards are the same person.
All the well, they just sort of have that face.
That exact face, yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot of brothers.
That's a little weird. Just to clarify, can I ask who is in charge of the city?
Oh, well, that would be the Open Lord.
That's the person's title. Is that possibly Earl Silverhand?
Oh, no. She was ousted a long time ago.
Really?
I'll need
How
another
long ago?
charisma saving throw.
I don't know if inciting these is a good idea or not.
Alright, Veritas, that's going to be 1 psychic damage, reduced to 1. Although she is missed. But no, the current Open Lord has been ruling for quite some time.
Like years? Decades?
It certainly feels like years.
But it's a whole lot of like days and nights passing, right? Especially those nights are really memorable.
One more time. Christmas saves.
Oh, man.
Veritas is killing it, apparently.
Well, this time.
This time.
That's 4 psychic damage to you, Bosch. But as you say these things, this kind of look passes her eyes. Cass. It was her. She killed me. And then boom, the doors to the temple open wide, and the fog rolls in and just rolls over you. The last thing you hear from Luna is, find me again. And you are back on the hill.
God.
Okay. Some walking to do, but I think we're cracking it a little bit.
I have a feeling that the guards won't be so hospitable this time.
Yeah, probably not.
Osh, take my hand.
Okay.
We're just going to dimension door through that gate.
Okay. It's still only 500 feet, so that would put you in at least in visual range. And yeah, you'd agree that's a good idea, as you see that there are gates blocking the path, guards blocking the path this time. But you dimension door behind them. Give me a stealth check from the both of you. Oh boy.
Oh no.
You weren't anticipating such a large increase, as you teleport behind the first wave of guards, and about 30 feet in front of a second wave. The guards make eye contact with you, just like, you there, stop!
She's still holding my hand?
Yes.
Dimension door second time.
You dimension door a second time. Where do you dimension door this time?
South, we're heading towards the market.
Alright, you're heading towards the market. You bamf back onto the high road. You're 500 feet away from them, but you do see that there are other guards that are sort of dotted along the path you need to take. They weren't on alert, so they weren't ready for you, so tell me, how do you like to avoid them?
Oh, this is real bad.
Yeah.
I mean, need to get back to Luna, right? That's the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to. Panic there. Just try to get us somewhere I knew.
We can try and duck through side streets, but it's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Figuring out where we are.
Maybe I can cause a distraction. Maybe put a light in like a corner in an alleyway. Get the guard's attention. Then we walk past.
Can try it.
So trying to navigate our way back to the temple. Veritas will use dancing lights as a distraction, like putting it in like another alleyway or corner.
Okay. Very clever. I'd say this is a deception check for you, Veritas. 27. You trick and fool and manipulate your way all the way back to the Saloon Temple. You see it, once again, in that ruddy situation. The doors not burst down quite yet.
Hello? Una?
Oh, please, come in.
So you remember us, right?
Yes. I don't know who the two of you are, but I do thank you for shaking me out of that.
So
Gosh.
it does carry over.
Yeah, bits. This isn't the first time I've woken up, but I feel like it's been a while. I assume you're looking for friends?
We found a couple of our friends, but they just got annoyed by us.
It called the
When
guards.
they called guards. Yeah.
They have a tendency of doing that.
And then the smoke what brings us back to the hill.
Right. Well,
Can you tell us like what it felt like when we got you out of that?
like being jostled from a pleasant dream, one that you don't want to wake up from. Like imagine being so tired that all you want to do is sleep. And someone
that's-
very rude wakes you up.
Pretty much exactly what Eve looked like. So it sounds like there's a nice way to do this.
There can be more subtle ways. Getting them isolated helps, but if you cause too much of a ruckus, she'll notice. And you can't say where we are.
You kind of figured that out.
Yeah.
But the trick is to remind people of their life, things that are important to them. But jostling, as you've no doubt noticed, has an effect. If you're not ready, it can take you by surprise.
Okay, so I think we had the right idea. We just have to.
Do it
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
Yes, to which I will be able to help you. I can't leave here. I don't know what your relationship to her is, but me and her have some history. But in any case, here, and she will cast enhanceability on the both of you, giving you advantage on charisma, both checks and saving throws.
Okay.
Cool.
And notably, its duration will be longer than an hour.
We need that.
I know.
Uh,
If you can free more, I can try and help them as well. I was a fairly competent mage in my days.
okay.
Thank you. We'll try to get some others.
Good.
Hopefully our friends won't be stupid still.
Good luck, and just whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
we hadn't tried that yet, but okay, we won't do that.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay.
Let's try Gaz first. He's close, right?
You would actually know that El Toro Academy is actually closer.
It's closer.
Because El Toro Academy is also in the Sea Ward.
Oh.
But you do also know that you think you made more progress with Gaz.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much more you can tell the guys, apart from like, hey, Manchun's out there. You could be the one who kills him.
Maybe if we offer him some blood. Or treasure.
Maybe.
Or talk about a demon's name.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. Well, we could give him blood, but he likes blood from a dead person, right?
Humanoid.
Yeah.
Fresh, too.
Well, you can lie. That's probably our best bet at this point.
I'd like the two of you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Ooh. But why?
Oh boy.
Don't worry, this won't hurt you.
Okay.
A natural 20. You kind of think about it for a moment, and you know what would be a real shock to the system? Just watching someone get murdered right in front of you. Basically, the intelligence save was for a hint. And I'm telling you, with a natural 20, flat out, you'll proc another one of these things if you just straight up murder a dude in front of Gazrakul.
That's
But
his style, not ours.
But I can understand if you don't want to do that. I'm just letting you know that with that conversation, that's the thought that occurs to you.
Okay.
We
There may
haven't
there may
tried-
of course be other ways.
We have not tried actually fighting the guards yet. It could be a colossally bad idea.
Could be.
Don't mind the laughing DM.
As much as I don't like it, yeah. Seeing someone getting killed is a pretty shocking sight if you're just a farmer.
But we don't even know. I mean, the people here, if we kill them, is that gonna make them die for real somewhere? Would killing them kill them for real?
I don't know.
Could try pretend killing you,
I'm,
but
I'm
or
a pretty
vice
good.
versa.
I'm a pretty good sell. I could use this potion. It's red. Pulling out potion of healing.
Oh, that just feels weird. Like, what, do we
It's-
just walk into his field of vision and I pretend to stab you?
Yeah, very, very rough and viciously.
I mean, sure, let's give it a shot.
Veritas will have the potion at the ready.
So you're heading to the market again?
Yeah.
Give me survival with advantage this time. You haven't
Okay.
quite found your way from the market to here yet. And it is a bit mazy. Alright. With a 22, you are able to make your way towards the market. And you get there, and you do see Gazra Cool selling his produce.
Yeah, kind of like getting into that into vision, and you can kind of see, and Veritas mentally communicates to Bosch. Okay, lay it on thick. An argument, dispute, you take out the axe and slash me. Wait, no. I don't know what you're talking about, cheaping you out. That stuff is real.
Wasn't the real blood of a humanoid killed in the last 24 hours?
I swear it was.
Deception checks for the both of you.
Oh,
Do we have
no.
advantage?
No. Actually, I'll tell you what. If you, Bosch, actually roll to hit Veritas, I'll give you advantage. Like actual advantage, bypassing your exhaustion.
If I actually roll to hit him,
Yes, and actually deal
oh,
damage.
God.
Do you want that 18?
Oh. This is gonna hurt, Veritas. I'm so sorry.
The only deception was
Oh,
deceiving the pain that he's gonna feel after this.
You take 17 damage.
Yikes, I'm so sorry.
And Veritas, you're able to very easily dump out the healing potion, adding to the blood that's already there now. But yeah, Gaz, you see this happen, and I would like the three of you to roll charisma saving throws with advantage this time.
I like your roll, Bosch.
Alright.
Oh.
Oh,
Bosch,
jeez.
Bosch and Gaz, you take 6 psychic damage. But as you
And-
see this, Gaz, and it kind of shoots through your system, you're just like, well, that's just some blood lying there. And suddenly, the memory of who you actually are comes back to you.
You okay there, buddy?
I'm fine.
Oh, okay, let's get you up.
Veritas weakly gets up as blood kind of pours down from him, where the spilled vial mixed with his own shattered glass on the ground.
Oh, here, you could use one of these.
Gonna pass you a potion of healing.
Okay, I get rid of my own, and I'll drink it for the full amount.
Mm-hmm. Get back, what, 10?
And remind me to never
God.
get you angry, Bosch.
Cause
And
likes
we
vegetable stand on fire.
Oh,
I think we should probably choose it, guys. We kind of caused a ruckus.
Quick,
You-
dancing lights!
You do start seeing guards starting to approach. I will also briefly say this, guys. You do not have your stuff.
Well, as in stuff? Or...
As in your inventory, ignore that.
That's alright, I can cast cantrips without a spell casting focus.
I know. That's why you can absolutely set it on fire, but more complex things might be difficult.
Wait, they're
And
radishes.
then
No.
Gauze runs to them.
My cabbages!
Whatever's going on, explain on the way.
Yeah, let's go.
Veritas casts dancing lights in another direction and yells out, trying to echo the voice over in that direction.
A little bit beyond the deception check, I'll need Constitution saving throws from the three of you.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh.
Gosh, it's been a lot of running today.
Yep.
Yep, you beat him again, but unfortunately you are still under 10. Which means you take another point of exhaustion, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
This is bad.
It sure is.
And we can't go to sleep.
Alright, but you do manage to escape the guards once again. Still by the skin of your teeth. You've been beating them by 1 on these rolls each time.
Oh my god.
But Gaz, you have awoken.
Not much time to explain. Gaz. There's certain things that we can't say and can say. When we make too much noise, they kick us out. And more of these guards come and try to surround and chase us like that.
Well, we can say, Bosch, if you're going to kill Veritas, you have to expend the charges in that lance.
I was trying not to kill him, but yes.
Obviously.
We were trying to shock you out of that. Is that what you were in? That was the best that we had?
Okay, so don't say the name of the place where we're in. Go to sleep. And we know where Eve is. She's not gonna. We're gonna have to try to shock her out of whatever she's in, and she's not gonna want to do it.
Well, if we have more healing potions on hand, then just keep stabbing Veritas until it works.
I mean, he's already taken one, so if we're
I'll
going with that strategy, you're up next, Betty.
I'll say, still following on that nat 20 intelligence save from earlier. Killing someone worked for Gaz Rakul. It might not work for Eve.
I don't know. She's the blood. I don't take her for the bloodlusting type.
It might shock her in a different way, but
We'll have to pull off an epic musical performance.
I might have something.
Okay, that's probably a better idea, whatever it is.
Eve, she really likes the other planes of existence. She likes books. If I show her what I am, where I come from, I think there's a chance that that's a big enough shock to her.
Oh, that could do it. And, I mean, if we're going along the other planes, we can.
I have my stuff, correct?
You have, yes, Bosch, Veritas, you have your stuff. Gaz specifically does not have his.
I can still have my helmet from the Feywild. Would be interested in that. If we're distracting her with, you know, the planes.
Worst comes to worst, we can always try burning books. I'm sure that would have an effect.
Nick, would you
It would
like
have an effect.
Nick, would you like me to give you another hint?
Please, are struggling over here.
Okay, intelligence save. This one's just from Veritas.
That's an 8.
Okay, good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
You're on the right track.
Well, let's have a backup plan if that doesn't work. Books on fire is pretty shocking. I'm pretty sure Eve wouldn't like that.
Luna said we should try to get the person alone. If she's in that study hall, I don't know how we're going to get her out, but we should probably take her out of the room.
Wait. I think I know.
Coles,
We should send help.
oh, that's another idea too. I mean, help is certainly from another plane. I think we should keep Pickles as a backup.
Yes, without our equipment, we are far less able to effect a kidnapping.
Let's try.
All right. I will need another survival check as you once again run off in a direction. I'll say it with advantage again because you're starting to get the lay of this specific area. And yeah, with an 18, you are able to navigate back to El Churro Academy.
Okay.
You see guards posted outside.
Kazi, you got something for the guards? Maybe
Well-
lure them somewhere?
Let's try this. And they'll go ahead and disguise self to look like one of the shamblers that they have seen in the streets.
All right. Do you
And
approach?
they'll walk up. They will approach the guards, and we have found troublemakers harassing citizens in the street.
Give me a deception check. I got so scared when I rolled a 17. Which way?
Towards the market, near the vegetable stall.
Alright. We'll catch him. We'll put him to sleep. The guards run off.
And
Doing
then
the
they'll
quick-
change their appearance again.
doing the quick like crouch, kind of like the fast crouch walk into the gate.
All right, you're just just like doing the stealth run into. I guess roll me a stealth check.
Yeah, this is as good as I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah, that seems appropriate. The students continue to look at you, but continue to also do nothing.
Suppose I should be
Guys,
in there
well,
too. So should
Okay,
I also make a
then.
stealth check?
If you want to.
Is his boss tiptoeing?
I mean, you are watching what is happening to Veritas, and the rest of the students don't seem to care.
Okay. Then I'll just walk in.
All right.
Gauze shapes changes to match what the students.
All right. Guys, looks like one of the students. You wander into the academy and once again find that study hall. You see Eve. Still there, still concentrating.
Is the teacher asleep, or is he up?
He seems a bit more attentive now.
What do we do?
This is a little weird, but we probably can't just walk in like we did before.
Oh. Wait. What if we try to whisper? Like, telepathically.
Well, yeah, you can do that, huh?
Yeah.
Uh,
Is the classroom
not-
like... Does it have windows in it? Or is it just like the door and then you can see in?
I mean, like, there's a door, there's a window in the door. I mean, it looks like a pretty standard classroom door.
Okay, so there's like a window in the door, like kind of up there.
Yeah. Not very big,
Veritas.
but you can see through it.
Veritas is going to summon help.
Oh boy.
And he's going to place him a little bit away from the classroom.
Away from the classroom?
Yeah, he does not put it in the classroom, he's putting it outside.
Okay. Put him outside.
Help.
I'm here to... Help's gone. I rolled for if something noticed, and boy howdy. A nat 20, it's noticed.
Try not to summon your demons or they'll end up like help. Oh,
just the deep inhalation and then gone.
he actually disappeared.
Oh my gosh, that killed me.
Momentarily.
Oh,
Just-
just perfect.
Oh god.
Okay.
We lack equipment, so our powers are somewhat limited.
Okay, Veritas, you got this. You got this, you got this. Veritas, while behind you, like outside the classroom, transforming into that more weird looking purple aberration that you saw a while back. With the singular purple eye, the lanky limbs, and the kind of jagged like points around the head. They don't really make a head. But right. And telepathically, Eve, you hear.
I need a wisdom saving throw, Veritas.
All right. 9.
As you try to send your telepathic message, you start to hear this static. And you take 6 points of damage, and your message does not go through.
It's just damage.
Just damage. Well, no, you do resist. So reduced to 3.
Okay.
Let me try something. I can't talk in people's brains, but I don't do this that often.
And Josh is going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay. The mage hand appears.
And have it. Going to try to have it stealthily go in the room and poke Eve.
Okay. What is your spellcasting modifier for mage hand? I think it's...
Don't even remember. It should be charisma, yeah.
It should be
so it's
charisma,
+1.
because it's like a bard thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright. Are you proficient in stealth?
No.
Then roll me a d20 plus 1. You
Okay.
luckily have advantage from the enhanced ability to cancel out your disadvantage. A 14.
All right.
Your mage hand goes in and pokes Eve.
Eve kind of jerks a little bit in her seat and glances around.
Veritas
Disembodied
is...
hand. Okay.
Oh. Go ahead.
Just gonna say the disembodied hand kind of appears in front of her face and beckons, then points through the window in the door.
Do I have any memory of the previous interaction?
No.
Eve squints at the door and the window.
Eve,
You guys just have your faces squished up in there.
Eve, you see a weird purpley eye thing that's in the window, and it kind of moves away and then waves this weird, like, three-fingered arm at you.
I'd say that's worthy of a charisma save from all of you.
Oh my god.
2 natural 20s this time. Alright. Guys, you take 5 psychic damage. And luckily the double nat 20s save you, but you feel it. You feel the creeping fog. It's not rushing at you, but you can see it on other ends of the hallway. The nat 20s saved you from being consumed by it, but it is there. And Eve, that was weird, but interesting.
Eve blinks rapidly and just stares for a minute and tilts her head and gets this look of like determination on her face and looks toward the teacher and raises her hand.
Yes.
May I please use the restroom?
All right, but be quick.
Yes, sir.
Scoots her chair back, gets up, and will cautiously head to the door.
All right. You head to the door. Opening it up, you see 3 strange individuals.
Yep.
Closes it behind her and just stares at all of them, especially Veritas.
Hello, Eve.
Oh, how do you know my name? What are you? I'm sorry, that's probably rude. Who are you?
I'm Veritas. I'm what you would call a mock from the Far Realm. Believe it or not, this might sound weird, but we were friends once upon a time.
Blinking rapidly.
I was even given a precious book, kind of pulling it out of, you would see that the actual like body of Veritas, like stuff that goes in and stuff like that, it is, the body's firm, but there's this kind of gelatinous kind of like jello and pulling out a book. And it is the Poetry Book of Sentience. Ah.
Does this book look at all familiar to me?
Kind of.
I'm not asking from that timeline. I'm asking from, would I recognize it as something from the bookshop or not?
I say kind of because you probably have seen it in the bookshop, like a copy of this book.
She stares and looks at the book, and her like fascinated, curious expression just starts to get a little bit darker. And she looks back at Veritas, and she looks over at Bosch and Gazrakul, and she just says,
Oh, did he send you? Is that what this is about? He couldn't bother to come in person to visit me. He sent these random people who have some sort of bizarre extraplanar friend. Did he think that would be cute? I don't want people here on an intervention. Do you understand? If he wants to talk to me, he can do it his damn self. I haven't seen him in over a fucking month. I don't even know if he's still in.
That's all interesting, but that's not why we're here.
Not even close to that. We're here to save the Black Staff.
Now, this isn't a charisma save, but it does invoke a very strange feeling in you, Eve. Because you know who the Black Staff is, and you know that they're an important person herein, but there's something more to it that you can't place your finger on.
Here to save the Black Staff? I mean, why, what? I can't imagine why they would need saving or what that has to do with me.
but she's a little bit less hostile with that last question and looks genuinely curious in a perturbed way.
Because we were friends once, and you have saved my life and many of our others. And we need you in these dire times.
Saved your. I don't. Listen, I don't know who the hells you think I am. I need me save your life.
Just kind of gestures at herself.
I'm
We've-
just a student here, okay? I'm not even a good student. I'm not even in the top 50% of the class at this point. I don't know what you expect to get out of someone like me. Is this because of my mother? I have nothing to offer you. I have nothing to offer anyone. And I really need to get back to my studies, so if you're not going to explain to me what the hell
Eve.
is going on here.
We've been over this kind of thing before. You're so much more than you think you are. We need your help, and you're our friend, even though you don't remember it right now.
I want Bosch, Gaz, and Veritas to roll me intelligence saves. Bosch, you say that, and the thought comes to both you and Gaz. Prove it. For Gaz, with the 26. There's a specific book.
Oh gosh, she has so many specific books that she's
There's-
interacted with just in it.
There's just one.
I don't. Is it her journal? 'Cause I don't have that. Or is it the necromancy book, which I also don't have?
Well, show me you don't have it. But someone's been practicing.
Uh,
Oh.
jog
Except-
my memory, Bosch.
Are you talking about Veritas practicing to be a book? Or am I going way off?
Are you?
I don't know.
Okay. Way out of left field. Veritas, can you do your thing to be a book and show Eve?
Right. Eve. This form is one that I've taken, but I've learned to change based on the experiences that I've had with all of you. And with that book that he pulled out, Veritas's form changes and condenses, and he tries to change into that same book and lay it side by side.
So you turn into the same book as the poetry book.
Because that is the one that he remembers turning into.
That is the one you remember turning into. But you've all seen her journal.
Mhm.
But poetry book, final answer?
In point of order, we all see the journal, or did Gosrakul see the journal?
That's
I mean-
what I was gonna ask.
I mean, Gazrakul is the only one that's like specifically read it, but Eve's had it and wrote in it enough for you to all know that she has a journal and what it looks like.
She takes it out frequently, and whenever important information is learned, she actually takes it out and jots things down in it as well.
Yeah.
And has actually told you guys before, I think, hey, if anything happens to me, here's where I keep my journal. It looks like this, bring it to my family.
Mm-hmm. And you've been traveling long enough that it would have been noticeable.
In that case, Veritas change into Eve's journal, if that realization comes to him.
Alright. You've been practicing, turning into books, trying to display information. Give me a con save with advantage and a performance check. I'm not giving you advantage, but Luna is.
Trying to get the right texture, the weathering on the book, the thickness of the paper itself, and the leather-bound latch, I believe, that's on it.
Alright. Everyone give me charisma saves with advantage.
I love it.
Oh boy. Okay. All of you, except for Eve, take 7 psychic damage. And Eve,
All right.
you look down at this creature that's turned to this book that feels so intimately familiar. This book that feels so preciously important. And you remember all the things you've written in it. And you remember who you really are. Just in time, as the fog crashes down all around you. And Bosch and Veritas, you are standing on a hill outside of Waterdeep with Eve and Gazrakul. Eve, Gazrakul, you have your stuff back.
Oh my god.
And
Good.
with our party reunited, but still have a few more left to find, I think this is a good place to end it.